You know that weird feeling, right? You're just scrolling through your phone, minding your own business, and then, bam! An ad pops up that is so specific, so weirdly personal, it feels like it was plucked right out of your thoughts.
I mean, you have a private chat with a friend about maybe, just maybe, taking up kayaking, and the next thing you know, your entire feed is a sea of paddles and life vests. You look at one pair of shoes one time, and suddenly, those shoes are following you everywhere online like a lost puppy. What is going on?
Well, it's not a psychic. And no, there isn't someone listening through your phone. Well, probably not. The real engine behind this incredibly targeted world of advertising is one of the most powerful and maybe misunderstood technologies out there today: artificial intelligence.
Welcome to the Flow Tao Salon. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on this wild world of AI advertising. And to make sure we get it right, we're not just throwing opinions around. We're going straight to the research.
Our guide for this journey is a fantastic review paper from 2023 called AI Advertising, an Overview and Guidelines. It comes from researchers at the Salon College of Business at Old Dominion University and MICA in India, and it was published in the Journal of BusinessResearch. They basically took a fine-tooth comb to 75 different studies to give us a complete map of this entire landscape.
So what's the first thing they discovered? Well, that this whole AI advertising thing isn't just a passing trend. It's an absolute revolution. And you can see it in the data.
Just look at this. For almost 30 years, between 1990 and 2017, researchers published a grand total of 14 articles on the subject. 14! But then, in just the 5 years from 2018 to 2022, that number skyrocketed to 59. That's not growth, folks. That's an explosion. It tells you that what was once a tiny niche idea is now front and center.
Okay, so to get a handle on this chaotic new world, the researchers broke it down into 4 main categories. Think of them as the 4 pillars of AI advertising. If you understand these, you pretty much understand how the whole system works. Let's dig in.
Pillar number 1 is all about the cool new toys. AI-driven innovations. This is the flashy, creative stuff. We're not just talking about who sees an ad, but about how AI is completely changing how ads are actually made and what they can do.
And the tech here is just wild. You've got AI that can write ad copy on its own, or even create mind-blowingly realistic images and videos using something called GANs. That's where 2 AIs basically battle each other to create the perfect image. Cadbury did this amazing campaign in India where they used this tech to have a Bollywood star personally thank thousands of local store owners by name in unique video ads. This pillar also covers everything from deepfakes to the chatbots and smart speakers we talk to every day.
Okay, on to our second pillar: computational advertising. Now, if innovation is the creative artist, this is the super genius mathematician. This is all about crunching enormous amounts of data to find patterns and make smart, automated decisions about where ads should go.
This is how they build those digital profiles of us. They use predictive modeling to guess what you're going to want next, often by finding other people who act just like you online. And does it work? Oh yeah. The paper points to an insane case study with Harley-Davidson. They used these exact techniques and saw a 2,930% jump in sales leads. That is not a typo.
Now for pillar 3, which is where things get really fast: programmatic advertising. The best way to think about this is like a stock market on hyperdrive. But instead of stocks, it's trading the empty ad space on the web page you're about to open. And this all happens, the entire bidding and buying process, in the few milliseconds it takes for your screen to load. It's truly mind-boggling.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, we are not talking about a small operation. This market, the programmatic ad market powered by AI, is on track to be worth almost $39 billion by 2028. It's the invisible, high-speed engine of the modern internet.
So we have the creative tools, the data brains, and the lightning-fast marketplace. But there's a huge question left. Does any of this stuff actually work? And maybe more importantly, how do we feel about it all? That brings us to the 4th and final pillar: effectiveness and trust. This is the human side of the equation.
Right. So this part of the research tackles the tough stuff. Sure, it looks at the easy metrics, like clicks and shares, but it also dives headfirst into our biggest worries. What about our privacy? Can we trust the company behind the ad? Can we even trust the AI that's making the decisions? This pillar is all about the real-world consequences for real people.
And that really tees up the central debate hanging over this whole industry. As this technology gets smarter, faster, and more woven into our daily lives, is it ultimately going to help us or harm us?
You can see the dilemma laid out right here. On one hand, the promise is awesome. An internet with more relevant content, better user experiences, and more efficient services. But on the other hand, the peril is terrifying. The total erosion of our privacy, algorithms that could be biased or discriminatory, and the very real danger of being manipulated at a scale we've never seen before.
So after that tour of the AI ad world, what are the big things we should walk away with? The research really boils it down to 3 essential findings.
First, this is a brand new frontier. The field is young, it's exploding, and that means new tech and new problems are popping up every single day. Second, you can make sense of it all through those 4 pillars: innovation, computation, programmatic buying, and trust. And third, and this is the big one, the single most important challenge going forward is finding the ethical balance. How do we get all the cool, personalized benefits without giving up our privacy and our trust?
You know, the authors of the study really said it best in their conclusion. They wrote that it is, and I quote, imperative to adopt a holistic perspective that balances innovation, creativity, performance, and ethical considerations. In other words, you can't just focus on the tech and the money. The human part, the ethical part, has to be just as important. Which leaves us with one final, very tricky question to chew on. In this new automated world, when an AI-powered ad goes wrong, when it discriminates or manipulates or causes real harm, who's on the hook? The programmer who built it, the company that used it, or the algorithm itself? That's a question we're all going to have to answer, and soon.